Hey everyone, welcome to Pixel Pulse. My name is Gabriel Surge. I just got done having mozzarella sticks and premarital. How you guys doing? Yo, you had any premarital, Agari? Postmarital.
mixed the Mountain Dew into the Doritos and then had premarital.
and then had premarital with it.
Welcome to Pixel Pulse, the show that this time we're going digital. Everyone is dying. The sign languager died. Melvin is still dead. And so Agari is at their place, and Quinn is at his place. Hello, Quinn, by the way. Welcome, by the way, to the third episode in a row of being our special guest. You've been in now half of the episodes while still being our special guest. So thank you for that.
How special is that now?
Congratulations. Surprise.
Episode 6. Yeah. Well, how you boys doing tonight?
Not too bad. I'm chilling out, and I'm just chilling out. That's really it. Just getting ready to yap.
Just got done hanging out with the
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh.
I just got done hanging out with the baby, so it's been a pretty active day. Slept
The
in.
baby.
The baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What have you guys been playing lately?
Quinn, you can start off.
It has been no surprise that I have been no-lifing Shadow Generations. Outside of that, up in my bedroom, I've been playing some more Omega Ruby, making some more teams, screwing around on that. But outside of that, Sonic.
Sonic. I've been watching you play Sonic, yeah.
I live and exist. I breathe it. My blood runs blue, baby.
My blood is blue.
I've only
and it's fast.
I've only played the Shadow Generations. I haven't quite yet gotten to play Sonic Generations half of that yet, but Shadow Gens was pretty awesome. I enjoyed it. We'll be talking more about it later, but yeah, I've been playing that, I guess, myself as well. I guess I haven't been playing too much off stream this week. A little bit Animal Crossing here and there. I watched a movie today with Ryan Reynolds in it, and it wasn't Deadpool. It was like a love movie or something. I don't know. My girlfriend wanted to watch it. So that's all I've really been up to. Not much.
Ryan Reynolds in a love movie?
Yeah. I think it was called like The Proposal or something.
Oh, I've heard of that movie.
Yeah. It was kind of funny because the movie came out in 2009, and there was a lot of very dated 2009 jokes. Like they made like a joke where she was like, if you don't start acting better or something or other, I'm gonna put a video of you on that new website. What's it called? And then Ryan was like, YouTube.
That's dated.
Yeah.
Oh boy. It was like watching my wife and I have been watching Gilmore Girls, and they brought up like the advent of the internet and like laptops being the newest thing, and I was just like, I'm old.
Yeah.
And here we are doing a digital media podcast online, all from different locations.
All in different. Well, I mean, Skype was a thing back then.
That's Skype. I remember Skype. That was a program.
Remember Skype? Remember how you still need you can use a Skype account to make a Microsoft account?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Believe it or not, I still somewhere have an AOL account somewhere.
Yeah. I think I have an AIM account, which I think is like the same thing, but like
I don't know.
Well, it was AOL Instant Messenger, right?
Oh, so
I never
it
used
would
Instant
be
Messenger. I was talking about like email.
Oh.
That's too long ago. My brain's rotted since.
I remember, what was it, Hotmail? But then that turned into Outlook.
It still pops up when you type in Hotmail though.
Yeah.
Does it really?
Hotmail addresses still work. The only reason I know that is because the account that we used to watch the Ryan Reynolds movie was a Hotmail account. Like the email that we had to put for it.
That's funny.
I was like, damn, I totally fucking forgot about Hotmail.
Well, we've been skimming past it. I mean, I still use Hotmail.
Yeah.
I still use Yahoo, so
I use that weird internet thing that's like Internet Archive or whatever, and we just go back like 10 years and use our Hotmail account.
Why?
It's aesthetics, man.
Yo, remember Yahoo Answers?
I love Yahoo Answers.
It's still a thing.
Yeah, it's
just really unhinged.
Yeah,
I thought Yahoo Answers went down.
Did it?
Like
I thought it
4 years ago.
Allow me to find out.
We'll do some research.
I thought because there was a podcast I used to watch. I guess quick shout outs, it wasn't a sponsor or anything, but my brother and me, and they used to do they used to just read random Yahoo Answers and just like poorly give answers to them. That was like their theme of their show. It was great, but then they had to stop doing it after a certain point because I think Yahoo Answers went down.
It went down May 4th, 2021.
Yeah.
But if you go on to quantarchive.com, you can still access it.
Okay. Can you like create new Yahoo questions or just see some of the previous ones?
All I'm seeing is stuff from 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
That's funny.
But you can still look it all up. Now everybody uses Quora now if they want jank answers. So
what is
ask.com?
You don't know what Quora is?
I remember Quora.
No.
I go on there if I ever want a good laugh because like people purposely post wrong answers on there. Everything. It's awesome.
Do.
It's great.
What kind of questions are people asking?
Oh, just like, hey, what my dog walks sideways. What type of medicine should it take? And then somebody's like, a bullet.
Jesus.
So, anyways, I have.
Hey, this is Pixel Pulse, by the way. Yeah, oh, you started Mass Effect.
Pulse.
Yeah, you started Mass Effect. Yeah, you've been playing that on stream. Tell me about it, bub.
Yeah, I finally started Mass Effect. I had been threatening it forever, and
threatening
it. Telling my chat I'm gonna fucking play it.
Who's the threat against, you or the chat?
The chat.
Everybody.
Have you been enjoying it?
Yeah, so far I've only put in about an hour and a half, so like I haven't made a lot of progress. But one thing I noticed, it was because it was made by BioWare, and BioWare is the creator of one of my most favorite like games of all time, which is Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. And
I'm unsurprised by that information.
Yeah, and I was very surprised that it played and looked so similar. And it kind of trickled into my nostalgia, which we will talk about later, but like it was something that I really connected with and I really started to enjoy, even though I played just a little bit amount of it, and I cannot wait to play more of it. I'm really excited about it.
I've never played any of the Mass Effect games. But my friend Fish, who you know, right? Like a little bit.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, he's a very big Mass Effect fan. So you could yap to him about it if you ever reach out.
It is a weird game to where like usually people are either all in or not in it at all. And this is one of those games where if you get into it, you get sucked into it.
Have you played all of them?
Yes, multiple times. I have not done the cool version that Agari has, but I have it. If I download it, that'll be all I play for like the next month. And I already know it.
Yeah, there's a lot of like dialogue choices and stuff. Because I talked to Melvin about it because Mass Effect was one of Melvin's favorite games too. But he stopped after 2, or like stopped through halfway of 2 for some reason, and he hasn't kept up since. But he really liked Mass Effect, and he was just talking to me about it.
Yeah, I felt like 2 was a little bit of a slog, but it was worth
3
the play.
Good, or was 3 the bad one that was like super divisive?
I
know
3.
nothing about it. Okay.
The big one that was divisive was Andromeda.
Yeah, I was gonna say Andromeda.
Is that like 4 technically, or what is
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was disconnected from all the others. So like the cool thing about Mass Effect is if you played it on the same system, the story of 1, and depending on what you do and how it ends, ties into 2, and then that ties into 3. And that was the cool thing. But Andromeda kind of cut that off, if I'm not mistaken. And it just felt like a whole different storyline, even though it kind of wasn't, but it was. It was weird.
Yeah, I've heard mixed things about Andromeda, but I've had a lot of people come in my chat when I stream, and they're like, "Hey, are you gonna play Andromeda after these?" And I'm like, "I don't know," because I've heard so many mixed reviews and so many mixed feelings about it.
I'd recommend it. It's still part of the series. It's not horrible. It's just not like polished like the other ones were.
Is it like a prequel?
No.
No. Okay.
No. You're making me say it with a question mark.
No.
I don't know. I remember hearing something that might be a prequel or something that was related to it.
Andromeda takes 600 years after Mass Effect 3.
Okay, so it's not a prequel.
Yeah, it's set in a whole different galaxy where it literally says it on here. The impact of Mass Effect 3's ending won't be felt.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's what a lot of people had the issue with.
Yeah.
Because they consider Mass Effect 3 the canon ending.
Okay. But other than that, I finally figured out how to get some latency issues fixed with me playing Pokemon Omega Ruby. So I'll be doing Omega Ruby again here soon. So Quinn is excited for that.
Were you playing on the fruit device?
Yes, kind of.
What do you
On
mean,
the fruit
kind
device?
of?
Theoretically, there's a way to stream it from the device itself.
No,
So
when I said
theoretically-
the fruit device, I meant the citrus.
Yes, no,
Through Citra, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I was
there's an older
trying to be
version of
vague and
Citra.
not say the word Citra, but here we are.
Yeah, we're here.
there's an older version of that to where you can take your physical game and play it, but it ports it so you can like screen cap it through Citra.
Yeah, so with that, there's a latency issue, but I fixed it a little bit so there's not as bad latency.
Okay. Well, what
See, we
else
stayed
you been
legal about
playing?
it.
Anything? Huh? Sorry,
I said, we stayed legal about it.
Yeah. You been playing anything else though, Quinn?
Outside of just phone games, I've been playing a crap ton of Magic Arena.
Yeah.
For those who do know Magic Arena, it does have a different mode called Brawl, where you can like use a commander like in Commander. So I've been loving the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
Other
you
than
been-
that,
Have you been up radicaling your highway? Or
no. Doom's Eye has been radicaling my highway. I don't know what Doom's whole thing about Radical Highway is, but every time you see Doom, Radical Highway's there.
Well, I guess with that, we could probably start with your topic. I know I didn't post it as the first one in the list. I'll edit that.
Oh my god!
Why don't we actually go right into that? Actually, then Quinn.
Okay.
Gar, you said you wanted to go last, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Allow me to preface that we've been waiting patiently since Sonic Superstars for a decent Sonic game.
I was waiting before then.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten them all just to play them, and Superstars wasn't horrible, but it wasn't the best. So I've been waiting since then, and the announcement of a new Sonic Generations like game was right down my alley. Seems how I've played Sonic Generations probably like 10 times now on like 3 different systems, and I've been being patient. And then to be told that there was a second half to the game with Shadow as the main character, that's where my interest got hit. And I started looking at other people playing it and enjoying it, and I finally got to get it this week. Beat it in 4 hours, and I've got a lot of input. And not only a lot of input, but a lot of future notes for those who are interested in the future of Sonic.
Well, before Before you get into that, I do have one question for you because you said you were waiting for another Generations like game. I just have to know, what's your thoughts on Sonic Forces?
Sonic Forces was fun.
You are a liker of the Sonic Forces.
Yeah, I am probably the only voice here that enjoyed the game.
He said,
Yeah,
"You're
definitely.
one of those."
Most people found Sonic Forces to be a little campy, to be a little safe, and the introduction of the creative character was not a good idea. I disagree with all of that.
My problem was it didn't really have much of an identity other than just being like, hey, let's do Generations again. But it felt forced in a lot of ways and didn't earn it because like they bring back like they bring back Chaos Zero only to get killed in a cutscene. Their shadows there, I guess. Zavok is there, and you do fight him. But like, I don't know. Forces itself never really. I didn't even beat it, and I know the game is like 3 hours. I played an hour and a half and was like, I'm done with this. I also
For
played
a
it
lot
on
of people-
Switch, which didn't help because it looked like
Yeah.
a crusty asshole. But
A lot of people's issues was that it A, felt forced, and B, was extraordinarily chaotic, which I honestly think fit the theme of that very well because it tidied up the ending to the whole Phantom Ruby issue, which has been in like 3 Sonic games now. The Phantom Ruby's been a big deal. And it was cool to see another gem make its way into the forefront and not just like, oh, hey, a bad guy got all the Chaos Emeralds. Oh, the end of the world. Oh. I liked the fact that the new big thing was a whole separate entity, like how they did with like how much did we get the Chaos Emeralds thrown in our face, right? All the way up until like Sonic Adventure. I mean, that was probably like the penultimate biggest doomsday event, in my opinion, with Chaos being like pretty much a god by the end of it.
Right.
So to see a whole nother thing take the forefront, the Phantom Ruby being thrown into Forces, it felt good, and especially having an entity that like pretty much was the Phantom Ruby in like physical form was super cool in my opinion. Could they have done it better? Yeah. Did there need to be a lot of dubstep? No.
Yeah, that was another thing for me is like I can appreciate dubstep. I used to have a very big dubstep phase, but the music in Forces just doesn't do anything for me. Same with Frontiers. All the like EDM heavy stuff in Frontiers just isn't for me. Now that said, I don't think it's like poorly written or anything. It's just not for me.
No, and I think the best part about it, the part that I liked the most, and I guess leads into the current game, is that there was a whole side story at the end of it all with Shadow. And Shadow had a big part to play in Forces near the end of it all. Like the whole deal with him having an issue with like the big bad of the game, and the big bad like holding
this.
it.
But then again, I only played an hour and a half.
I don't think you got into Shadow Story because I played that post game.
It's a post game thing. Oh, was it DLC or because I played the game day one?
Yeah, episode Shadow, I think they called it or something like that. But the whole deal was like Shadow just ran across the bad guy in a forest and kicked his ass, and from then on out, the bad guy just wanted to be more powerful. That's the whole plot. That held a huge grudge against Shadow the whole game.
Where's that scene that I see every now and then of like Shadow like shoulder bashing a bunch of things? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like he's like flying at a weird angle and it looks weirdly animated. It's like this big like battle scene and he just kind of like drifts through the dudes. Do you know what I'm talking about? I've seen this clip out of context and I don't know what it's from.
So-called weaklings when they called Froze also said something that I'm gonna counter with another hard thing to say, but like probably like 4 of my top 10 favorite songs in Sonic were all in Forces.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah,
which songs are they?
That's crazy. I liked their version of Supporting Me, which is like it's called virtual reality Supporting Me. I liked that version. I actually been playing it on my streams the last few streams now. And then there was Iron Gate. I liked that song a lot. And then there was where's it at? I can't remember the exact name of the song, but it was super good.
Have you do you listen to video game covers at all, Quinn?
Yeah. I have my main Twitch playlist is got 250 hours of remade video game songs.
I was gonna say, have you heard of the YouTube metal musician Game Metal, something like that?
Yeah, Game Metal. Yeah.
They have my personal favorite version of "Supporting Me." That I love their cover of that song. You should.
I've been waiting for Little V Mills to do that. Little V Mills is another metal one on there that does the same thing.
Okay.
There we are. We're looking at the name of the song is called "Anytime Now, Any Minute Now."
Oh, I love that song.
One day.
Yeah, eventually. Spaceport. I love that song. It's such a good song. But yeah, Forces. I liked Forces. Yeah, pros can just get angry at me.
Well, unfortunately for you, we're not here to talk about Forces, though. We're here to talk about the game I think we can all agree on is pretty fucking solid.
So Shadow Generations was such a good step into the right direction for Sonic Team. I'm just gonna be the guy to point this out, that it not only was a good game, but stepping back away from it, there's a lot of hints that this is not the end of games like that, and then that it's only going to keep going, and they've even talked about it. So the coolest part about Generations is that it uses the Hedgehog engine too. Since the last game to use that was Frontiers, they decided to keep that going since it worked so well. Because I don't know if you guys played Frontiers or not, but it controlled very well. The controls were pretty solid for me.
I liked Generations was Frontiers in the open areas. I didn't like it in the cyberspace very much.
Nope, the open zones is exactly what I'm talking about. And the cool part about that is the maker, the lead of Sonic Team, the head Takashi, said that Frontiers is the cornerstone of future Sonic games. So all the other Sonic games are going to be in that open adventure, and he used adventure, and they quoted adventure style games is going to be the standard. So a lot of people, because of that, are starting to think that Sonic Adventure 2, potentially a Sonic Adventure 3 might be one of the next games they might touch on. I have a different opinion.
I kind of feel like they're not, because they always say stuff like that, and they've said stuff like that for like 15 years and they never do it.
So if they are going to remake any of the older Sonic games with the new Hedgehog 2 engine, I have no reason to doubt myself on the fact that if they do, they're going to do Shadow the Hedgehog. And you might laugh at that, but there are a lot of reasons I think this. So in Sonic Generations, if anybody has played through it, and I won't spoil it, but I will point out that they didn't include any Shadow the Hedgehog levels in Shadow Generations. I actually kind of
had a problem with that. That was my one complaint, was like there was not a single level from Shadow the Hedgehog.
So my next question for that was, why would they do that? So if they wanted to, they're probably in my brain.
Especially since like the main villain is, Black Doom. They could have easily made the last level, instead of being Radical Highway, they could have done like Black Comet. They could have done Westopolis. There were a number of levels that would have been pretty appropriate from Shadow the Hedgehog. I think it would have been funny if they did Digital Circus, only because there's that YouTube show that's the same thing, same name, but it wouldn't actually have been that relevant otherwise.
Just to be able to hear Shadow say, "Where's that damn third Chaos Emerald?"
Fourth.
That's fourth.
Come on now. I thought you were the Sonic guy.
I am. I'm not the Shadow guy. Okay. I actually got to replay that game again.
I played it earlier this year. I have mixed opinions on Shadow the Hedgehog. A remake would potentially fix it. But on that note, haven't you heard the rumors that there was supposed to be a Sonic Heroes remake? What happened to that?
It kind of dropped off the face of the planet. Like they do a really good job at not hinting what their next game is going to be, and they always throw the right curve of, oh, okay, well, let's tickle your nostalgia again and toss like some old games back at you while simultaneously taking all the old games off the market. which is going to be what they're doing. Sega's doing it again.
Yeah.
There's going to
I
be
saw
it's a
that.
treasure trove of games, like 34 games they're taking off of Steam, off of Xbox. So if you've got like the Sonic Mega Collection or like
what games and why? What? Just the licensing are running out, or what?
No, because they're making new Sega games. They're going to be making new versions of these games. Like Jet Set is going to get a new game.
Wait, Jet's getting a new game?
Yes,
Well,
there's
we
talk
knew
of it.
that.
Yep. Hold up.
They announced that like a few months ago.
Sega Rops games. There we
Yeah,
go.
there's gonna be like a Crazy Taxi remake as well, right?
Yep. Sonic 3D Blast. So here we go. Here's the list of delistings. Hey man, you
3D
say that,
Blast!
but I'm excited for a new like if they do a 3D Blast game good, I'll be happy. Let me see. Mystery delisting. There we go. So December 6th is when they're going to be doing it.
Someone in chat said Billy Hatcher. Billy Hatcher's not on Steam, is it?
Is it?
It's only on GameCube. I thought that game has never been re-released, or GameCube and PS2.
I don't know.
I don't see Billy Hatcher on Steam.
Yeah.
It's
Can
not
they
on
just
Steam.
can they list the games? Why is everything clickbait? It's going to drive me up a wall. There we go.
If it's not clickbait, nobody cares.
Right. But there's, oh my God, where is it at? Yeah, the big two being Crazy Taxi and Jet Set are both getting dropped off of Steam, which really is going to like hurt.
Though, yeah.
Mind you, I have both of them already, so I'm not like butthurt. Anybody who already has them before that date keeps them. Just like they did with that's why I still have Sonic 1, 2, and 3 on Steam.
So they're not doing the thing where they're like removing it from people's libraries. They're just
they're not gonna they're not taking it
anymore
away
after that.
from us. They're just taking it away from people that wish to buy it because that's what they did. They got down Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic and Knuckles, but then they released Sonic Superstars.
Austin, can you boost your mic a little bit? You're coming in a little quiet.
I'm at max volume. I can try to boost my input on Discord. Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, Froze caught it. He said 3D Blast with only the Saturn soundtrack. Yeah, and the Saturn special stages. Yeah, Origins. There we go. Origins was the one that they released after they did that.
Yeah, Sonic Origins. I wanted to play it, and then I heard how much they botched the Sonic 3 soundtrack, and I get it. The licensing with Michael Jackson is a little fucked, but like, man, did a lot of the music in that game just sound like I'm just gonna say it bad in the Origins version.
Is this better?
Yeah,
say something again.
Is this better? Hello.
Yeah,
Test,
you're
test,
coming up
test.
to the same volume. Okay, good.
Okay, cool.
You sound like shit.
Wow.
Oh no. Yeah, they did my boy Ice Cap wrong, and I just don't know how I feel about it. But the big deal with me thinking that Shadow the Hedgehog might be a thing, the only thing that kind of gives away in my brain is that they were using the Hedgehog Engine 2 on Shadow as a tester and didn't say anything about it. And then on top of that, left those levels purposely out for that purpose of, we don't want to release this level and then make the next game have those levels again. They also did find some of the what's the assets for like Westopolis in like game file. So that's another big deal that stuck out is that they had it, but they didn't use it. And then the only thing that they've announced that they're releasing on Shadow Generations after Sonic 3 the movie comes out, they're releasing like a Tokyo styled level. Yeah. So I'm thinking that if they do push for another game, they went the right direction choosing Shadow, and I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not going to feel bad about saying it either. It was kind of nice having like a fresh, not Sonic character being able to use in that game. That's kind of the reason why I liked Forces, because you could create your own character and it wasn't just Sonic all the time. It's weird that I kind of got Sonic'd out for a minute. As far as no, seriously, because like they did me wrong with these last few games, right? So it's kind of nice to see these games come back and be at the forefront again.
Were you a fan of Forces? We talked Frontiers, I mean.
Yeah, Frontiers was fun. I'm on the same boat as you were. The digital space felt weird. The boss fights were awesome. I loved the boss fights. I loved the soundtrack. I loved the openness of it. And I
Did you
hope
love
that
Big the
if they,
Cat?
I always loved Big Cat, man. I did not. But they changed his voice actor. It don't sound like that much anymore. It sounds a little bit more mature.
It's Gohan's voice actor now, Kyle Hebert.
Yeah. He did good. He didn't sound bad in Shadow Generations.
Yeah, he sounded all right. Why was Big in Shadow Generations though? What did he have to do with Shadow?
All of the characters that Shadow unlocks by opening areas, they used all of the characters that showed up on the last scene of Sonic Generations that didn't get put into Sonic Generations. So like they took all of them that didn't, and then besides,
it's been a really long time since I played Generations.
They used everybody. Yeah, they used everybody in Shadow that filled out the rest of the people that came in there at the end. It was like, you could do this, Sonic. I believe in you, Sonic. Fuck him on the head, Sonic.
The Sonic.
Stab him in the throat, motherfucker.
I've only ever played Heroes. That was the only Sonic game that I've ever played, and I didn't have a problem with it. I just never really caught on to Sonic, I guess.
Fair.
It is kind of a weird one to start with, but based anyways.
Well, Heroes was the one that was on the GameCube, right?
Yeah. There were several, but that was on GameCube and PS2. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the one that I remember distinctively when I had my GameCube was Heroes, and the theme song, because I didn't have a memory card for the longest time, so every time I'd start the game it'd just be Sonic Heroes.
Hell yeah, man.
The intro song was something else. They really knocked it out of the park with the lyrics on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I am of the persuasion that some Crush 40 songs are actually really fucking fire, and you can listen to them outside the context of the game, and like they're awesome. Sonic Heroes is not one of those. So.
No. I didn't say how much I appreciated Shadow Generations in the fact that like I didn't like get sucked into it until the first boss. When I know I'm not going to ruin it, but I'm just going to say that after playing the first boss, I'm not going to lie, I started getting a little fucking emotional about it because it was no, I'm not going to lie about it because like I played Sonic Adventure 2 like no life did as a child, and like I even played it like during Scream, and I play it on my off time. I got my GameCube hooked up with it in there right now. I get on it sometimes and play it. So the first boss of Shadow Generations made me fucking emotional because it was that and like to an nth degree better. It was everything that should have been, and they did that with all of the bosses. I was stunned. I was brutally stunned. They took it in
Shadow were excellent.
They took it in the right direction, and that makes me excited to see that they're going to keep to the same idea in the next one, for sure. Please be Shadow the Hedgehog. Please, God, fucking be Shadow the Hedgehog. Please.
I only have one major complaint with Shadow the Hedgehog. Well, two major complaints. All right, three major complaints with Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow Generations. First complaint. Game short. Game was like 5 hours for me, and I know there's like extra bonus stuff that I didn't do, but I'm just talking like it was excellent, and I'm glad that what was there was polished and great, but I would have loved for the game to be like, I don't know, like 8 hours. I think would have been like fine, but I don't know, maybe it is just a platforming game, and most Sonic games are pretty short anyways, so at least the good ones.
Yep.
But second complaint was that Shadow wasn't sexy enough. Should have been more sexy.
Why no kissing? You see, if you beat the game quicker than 4 hours, you get to watch Shadow and Sonic kiss.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Get to see some Shadow premarital.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, Froze caught it too. That's not even spoiling it. You obviously get to see Maria and Joe Robotnik in Shadow Generations. It was in the It was in the trailer, so I'm not going to feel bad about you guys knowing about that. But
spoilers.
Well, Fro's already spoiled it, so that you do get to see things like Maria holding a baby biolizard, and you get like a lot more backstory. So yeah, even though it didn't it didn't give a lot of content, the content it gave was fire. Yeah. Like I loved that it finalizes the story of Sonic Adventure 2 for at least Shadow's perspective, and even then, like I got mad at the ending. I'm not gonna lie, but not in a bad way. It was mad for the ending, not mad at the ending.
My third complaint of 4 complaints, when I previously listed there were 3 complaints.
Not 4.
My third complaint is actually nothing to do with Shadow Generations, but I heard that Sonic Generations comparatively kind of plays like shit. Or not plays like shit, but like it's palpable the difference of like the Hedgehog 2 engine that Shadow Gens runs on, whereas Sonic Gens is a completely different engine, and like it looks and plays like notably worse.
So when I
haven't played it though, just Sonic Gens just yet. I was gonna do that later. But
I played Sonic Generations, the original one, on the 360, and then I got it on the computer and played it on there. So when I played the new Sonic Generations, I pointed out probably 5 or 6 different things where they messed up. So like the most notable one in my opinion is there is a mini boss where you fight Metal Sonic, right? Super early in the game. In the original, the music starts out like quiet and it like sounds like the original for a second, then it like remixes it while like it shows the cutscene of Sonic and Metal Sonic going at it for a second. That whole intro of that song is cut, and instead it starts the actual boss music on that cutscene in the new one. And I caught some small things like that. I also caught a bunch of new clip issues, like with the mini game where you have to play with Vector and like knock the notes back and forth. Half the platforms didn't work for me. Which was weird. Like I would just not jump onto a platform when trying to jump onto it. And I tested it. So there's just a lot of small stuff. Yeah, at least I got pros telling me that I'm right on the money on that.
Would you say, because I haven't streamed Sonic Generations in a very, very long time, there's no archives on it on my archive channel. Would you say it would be more worth, because I have the original Steam release of Sonic Generations. Would it be more worth playing that or the Sonic Shadow Gens version?
I would play the first one just because it's the more, in my opinion, complete one that doesn't have as many bugs. But the new one, I do got to say, the addition of the Chow hunting in it. There's 3 Chow per level now, on top of those 5 red rings. So you could get more out of it playing the new one. And if you haven't played the old one, then you won't notice any of the issues in the new one.
Right. I have played the old one once. One time through.
Yeah, they removed Sonic 1, yep.
In like 2017 or 2016, something like that. It's been a while.
Yeah, and with all of that, them delisting games to make games like Sonic Origins, I don't understand why they didn't delist Sonic Generations to make this new Sonic Generations. They left both of those up.
Weird.
Interesting.
But yeah, as far as to kind of close that up, the new next mainline Sonic game, they haven't obviously said what it is, but the direct quote, a new game that has been in development for a while. The next game will not be on the 5-year cycle, and the developer strictly says that they want to try a no boost adventure style game.
Okay. My only thing with that, and this was actually going to go into that 4th final thing that I still had, but Sonic this is also not necessarily a problem with the game itself, but more just a broad question about where the franchise will go. So perfect. When the original Sonic Generations came out, it was so widely acclaimed by the masses when Sonic in general had such a mixed reception that I feel like Sega saw it and was like, okay, every game from now on has to just be reference old game, the game. Green Hill Zone was an infamous complaint on my stream that it would come back in every fucking game when it did not need to. I mean, Sonic Mania, an argument can be made there on like how, the new levels are fantastic, but why is there a lot of throwback levels? I mean, it's part of the game's identity at this point, but I felt like the game would have been stronger if it was just all new stuff, right? And
they always start Sonic off where he's from, which is South Island, and South Island is Green Hill.
Right. But like, I don't know, like also in Sonic Frontiers, why did they literally reuse level geometry from previous games? Like it wasn't that it was supposed to be those levels. It was just reused levels with a generic other skin on it. Like, seriously, I can recognize the SA2 in the Sonic Unleashed levels when I see them. Why did they just literally reuse those?
We don't talk about Bridge Zone, okay?
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about Bridge Zone. Bridge Zone was the bane of my existence. We're talking Bridge Zone's from the Game Gear Sonic 1.
Oh no.
Yeah,
we don't talk about Game Gear. Get the hell
but
out
I mean,
of here.
but Sonic doesn't live in Scrap Brain or even on Labyrinth. Like he chills in South Island with like the flickies jumping around like idiots.
Does he have a house? Does he pay a mortgage?
Don't.
Sonic the Hedge house.
Dude, stop.
Does he live in a hedge?
He's in Sonic the Hedge debt.
Sonic the Hedge. Sorry, that's disconnected.
He needs to get a Sonic the Hedge fund.
Sonic the Hedge house. That's the funniest joke I'll ever make.
Triple Trouble was actually pretty fun.
What's the one with Knuckles and all his friends that came back in Mania?
Knuckles.
Chaotix?
Yeah.
Oh boy, let's get Chaotix too.
Is that a good game?
You already know that I'm gonna say yes, but the true answer is not really. It's a slower Sonic game. It's a slower Sonic game.
Okay.
It feels more puzzly. It makes you think about what you're doing. Conceptually, it's a good game. Yeah, nope. I looked at Froze needs to stop saying what I'm thinking. Conceptually, it was an okay game. Of course, I liked it because of the IP, but
right.
I'm gonna play.
Is there a Sonic game you don't like, and then we'll move on to the next topic?
Boom.
The one that I want to play.
The Wii U one? Well, why do you want to play Sonic Boom? Just because the show?
Because it's so trash.
Oh.
Yeah, it is like notoriously the buggiest one outside of 6.
Are you talking about like the Wii U version or like the 3DS
Yeah,
one?
the one where you can use Knuckles to jump infinitely?
Well, yeah, right, there were Sonic Boom games on the 3DS, so are we talking about the infamous one on the Wii U?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The infamous one.
So do you like 06 then, Quinn?
If the new version, the one that was fan made, yeah.
Oh, the patch version.
Yeah.
Did you play the original in its original state?
When it came out, yes.
Yeah. And did you severely dislike it until the patch?
I did not enjoy it. But I didn't enjoy it for the story. I didn't enjoy it for the gameplay. All of it was kind of at the same level of unenjoyment. The story for sure was what kind of like threw me off. They tried going for a more mature theme, and as much as I can like appreciate that, they didn't need to. They didn't have to introduce as many new characters as they did. I hated the overworld. The overworld was horrendous. Standing sideways on a bench felt weird.
All right. Well,
what's the one? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just want to interject real quick because I was remembering one Sonic game that Quinn was playing. It was the one that had the really bad mouth animations. It was Sonic DX or whatever.
Yeah, DX, man. Hey, Tails, you're gonna crash. Yeah,
and he's just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, that's part of the problem with the DX version, which is why a lot of people play if they play the DX version on Steam, they mod it so it doesn't play like the DX version. Plays like the original version.
And that's what I did. That's what I did. It's still,
yeah. I mean, even still, it was like Dreamcast. Like what, 98 was when the game first came out.
I just
Yeah.
remember the mouth animations just being absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
That guy must be desperate.
Yeah, exactly like that.
For
For
those
those who don't
couldn't
know, I kept moving my mouth like 5 seconds after that.
he and also he was able to like put his chin through the back of his whole skull like a weird like character creator thing that has like
Yeah.
no limits on how far you can move the body part. Like his whole face distorted with that.
Sonic DX, how many times can we hear Robotnik say the same? You can't get away from this. I can't get
No
away with
way.
this line.
I can't believe this.
You're never gonna get away with this.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to topic number 2. Sorry, Agari, I know you probably don't have too much to say about this one either, but trust me, you're gonna yap once we get to your topic.
Yeah.
I'm cutting you off. Yes, the frog convulsed, and yes, Gamma also convulsed just as hard when Amy talked to him, and I blame Amy for talking to him to make that happen.
So for my topic, lads, I wanted to share yet again. Are you surprised? Nintendo news. This time, Nintendo is revealing brand new products, and it's not the Switch 2, even though they sort of gave us a little Switch 2 news as well.
It's not a fucking clock either.
It's not a clock. It's Spotify.
For Nintendo?
Yeah.
Spotify.
For those who, sorry,
go
real
ahead.
quick, I just opened my mouth very exaggeratedly, just like, oh!
He pogged a little bit.
I
saw
pogged. I did. I definitely pogged.
What are you
dying.
laughing at, Quinn?
Just I'll bring it up later, but I'm holding up my screen right now and it's still trying to load the app after 5 minutes.
For the Nintendo Music
Really?
app? Mine just instantly booted. You might want to check your app, bro. I don't know what's going on with that. But no, so yes, Nintendo revealed the Nintendo Music app, which is their, we'll put in air quotes, solution to allowing you to listen to their video game music in a quote unquote legal way. Now, so far as of releasing the app, they have not begun to take down any like existing YouTube uploads of their soundtracks. But they used to do that a long time ago, and it was really weird because for the longest time, there was no real reason why they hadn't done something like this. And honestly, this was something that a lot of people were begging for, myself included, because listen, yes, I'm a nerd, but I listen almost primarily to video game music while I do work specifically, just because generally songs without lyrics help me stay focused on what I'm doing, and whenever I have lyrics and someone's trying to talk to me, it can get kind of distracting. So I've, you know, and also I just like video games, let's be honest with that too, right? So
Fair enough.
They made this Nintendo Music app, which initially launched with how many games? Do you know?
On one more time on the app.
On the Nintendo
they launched
app,
with
yeah.
They launched with 23 and have currently released only 2 more.
Okay, yeah. But this was 2 weeks ago, and they're going to do, I guess, drip feed for it, which I'm not really thrilled about. That Nintendo has a real huge premarital hard-on for for just doing drip feed content on these on their NSO apps, on their virtual console. See, that's why I don't like agree with everyone who's like, yeah, let's bring back virtual console, because you know you're gonna be waiting for fucking like 5 years before you can just play Earthbound again, right? Like they're not gonna put that shit on there until like they've run out of like NES Tetris and NES Tennis and NES go fuck yourself, right? But as for the music app itself, it's 9 Switch games, 2 Wii games, 2 DS games, 1 GameCube game, 1 Game Boy Advance game, 2 N64 games, 3 Super Nintendo as of updating it, 2 Game Boy Advance, and 3 NES games. 3DS is just nowhere to be found, dead in a fucking ditch. And one of the Wii games is just Wii menu music.
And the 2 DS games are kind of like poopy.
Well, it's kind of interesting to see Tomodachi Collection, only because Tomodachi Collection never came out in the States, and we have official translations of all these songs for that. Now, obviously, Nintendo has a shit ton of games, right? So if they add 1 a week, which so far they have, I mean, 52 weeks after a year, that's 52 more games. Okay, it's still not really ideal in my book, but like after a year of having the app, like I could see myself forgetting about this app for a couple months, randomly pulling it back up, and then being like, "Oh, what have they added?" And then just like have like a little listening spree. But then there's some good features in here too. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Then it just brings up the question. You and I will do that. I know for sure I'll be checking back up on it, but how many people really are? How many people are gonna like want to come back to it?
Well, I think for other people, I don't think this is really for them. Like, let's be honest with the third person in our call here. Are you ever going to download this app, Agari?
Probably not. Admittedly, probably not.
Even if you're like a really big fan of these games, you're not really into video game music on that level, right? Like you don't really go out of your way to listen to it.
It's not that I don't like them. It's just that I don't go out of I don't go out of my way to listen to video game music. I like video game music. It's just
Quinn and I will do that. Yeah. But yeah, I think
that's
this
like
app isn't necessarily meant to be a competitor to Spotify, which is why the Switch Online, the Nintendo Music app, it doesn't have any ads on it. I can really appreciate that. I already have an NSO subscription, so you could argue that it's a paid app, but I more see it as just an expansion to my already existing thing that I have, just another bonus thing. I don't think anyone's going to buy NSO who didn't already have NSO just to listen to the music. I guess maybe 1 or 2 people will probably be in that hyper specific situation, but I don't think that's what they're going for. I don't think this is meant to bolster the sales of NSO. I think this is just to give another feature to those who participate in it.
And what a feature they gave me.
Yeah.
It takes 5 minutes to load.
Yeah, I don't know why your app takes 5 minutes to load.
I backed out and got back in.
Okay. I don't know what that was. Mine has never done that, but there are some nice features in this app that make me consider using it over YouTube. Truth be told, I still use YouTube. I pay for YouTube Premium because no ads, and also there's more than just Nintendo music if I do that.
Yep.
But there are some nice features that make me consider listening to some of these soundtracks on here. Notably, there's 2 big things that I think this app does really thoughtful features to add to the app. One is they have a spoiler mode where you can hide games from appearing on your like random playlists or just on the app in general if you so prefer. If you're like working through a game and you really don't want to hear the music, because that's how I am. I will listen to game soundtracks, including games that I'm still working through, because I hear a song, I'm like, oh, I want to hear that again, like off stream or whatever. And I imagine if I had that game set to spoiler mode and I found the one song I wanted to hear, great, and then none of the rest of it's spoiled for me. Because if I start searching, like for example, I'm playing through Mario and Luigi Brothership right now, right? That just came out. If I start searching for Brothership music, YouTube algorithm is going to autoplay me into other Brothership music, and I don't want that until I've gotten to that part. I like to hear the song for the first time in game. It's a weird thing. I know to most people it doesn't really fucking matter, but like for me, a lot of the times the music is written with the scenario it's in mind. And again, super hyper specific. I know it's a weird complaint, but I like that this app actually has that feature for me. Or if also in the case of I just don't like this game's soundtrack, I can also hide it with the spoiler feature like that and not have it enter my playlists.
That is a nice feature, because like if I had something like that, I use Spotify all the time, and like I know it's not exactly similar to me to be all like, hey, let's just see if I can like if I don't like a song, I can just remove it from my queue, or I can like dislike the song so I don't get it back in my queue. But I mean, to like completely have a thing, because like sure, I'll be like, I don't like this song and I want to get it out of my queue. I can dislike it. Oops, I just threw my fidget toy on the ground. But at the same time, it'll still kind of cycle through. Like maybe, for example, if I say like I'm listening to my playlist, a country song comes in. Not a big fan of country, don't really care for it. I'll skip it, or I'll dislike it or something. And then, you know, like a couple minutes later, after playing one song, it comes back again with another country song. You know, like it's not my taste. It's not what I want. I mean, sure, there's a whole new thing around it right now with like personalization and stuff with Spotify and how you listen to music, whatever. But if I had that option, you know, like to like not have a specific genre of music or like a specific artist pop into my playlists, like I think that would be cool. Like just to have that on Spotify alone, like a spoiler option, kind of.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really have much else to say, but on that. But I just like the feature of not being spoiled on anything, because also like depending on the game, I guess like the name of the song itself might also be a spoiler to something that happens in the game. Like this is completely made up, but if in Xenoblade there was a song called Shulk fucking dies, well great, now I know Shulk dies in Xenoblade, so thanks for naming the song that. There actually are a couple of songs in Xenoblade where after you get a little context of playing the game, if you saw the name of the song, you would get spoiled on a few things that happen in the game. So again, just the spoiler feature is pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie and be like, what the fuck is the whole point? The other thing that I like,
with Breath of the Wild. I've been playing through Breath of the Wild for the first time, so really? Because of this dang app. I mean, I don't mind spoilers at all because I'm 7 years late to that party of being Breath of the Wild. But now I know all the Blight Ganons. I know all their names. I know what their songs sound like. You know, I spoiled it, but I could see the utilization of that being a good thing for a lot of people.
Now, for the way to market a spoiler, like, do you have to go into the album to mark it as a spoiler?
Hang on, I've got it pulled up right now. Also, there's this sick banger song. I'm gonna play you one song from the Nintendo Music app. They have a very interesting selection of songs. Here's my favorite one. Are you even able to hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Loosely, but yes.
Yeah.
That's the whole song. It's looped about 4 times so far.
Yep.
That's it.
That's the Starman theme from the original Mario.
Yep.
What were we talking about before I did that?
Speaking about looping, another one of the features they've got is to where you can loop songs in it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I actually had that set to a 60-minute loop. That whole song. So
surprise, 60 minutes of Mario music.
Yeah, I both like and dislike the extension feature. On one hand, yes, I do love listening to my video game music on endless loops sometimes. Yes, my dad famously had a moment where I was listening to the Mario Sunshine bonus level music in the basement, and he shouts down the stairs, "Stop it with the doo-doo-doos!" You know, there was that. But here's my problem with the extension feature on the NSO app. Only specific songs can be extended. And, like, I get it, like, cutscene music, how would you fucking endlessly loop that other than to just play it again, I guess? But there are some notable exceptions that just aren't here that could be extended. Like, for example, they just added DKC2 just last week, right? And arguably the best fucking song in Donkey Kong Country 2. Hang on, let me get the name.
You better
of
watch your words.
The best fucking song, Stickerbush Symphony, also known as Bramble Blast, cannot be extended. For some unknown reason, it just can't be. Instead, you can have one of the jingles for when you clear a level, which like has like a 15-second loop. That one can be done for 60 minutes or however long you want. But Bramble Blast, the most chill song aside from maybe Aquatic Ambience in the whole series, and is like genuinely my favorite piece of like Mario extended universe like music is this song Stickerbush Symphony.
Wow.
It cannot be extended, and I don't know why.
Homie slept on Funky's Fugue and fucking Fear Factory.
I mean, there are some. I really like Fear Factory actually from DKC1. There are some really good ones, but out of all of them, that one's my personal favorite. I guess specifically for me, I really like the Brawl version because that's where I heard it first. That remix is fucking god tier as far as I'm concerned.
And I've noticed that with a lot of the looped features on some of the songs that you can loop, it still fades them out at the end of it.
Does it?
And brings it back.
I haven't made use of most of that extension loop feature.
A lot of people are kind of annoyed at the fact that it fades out a lot of the looped songs when they loop them.
Yeah, I mean that just kind of defeats the purpose at that point, because when I go to YouTube and I type in Star Fox 64 Area 6 30-minute extension, you know, genuinely 30 minutes is about my personal sweet spot. It'll seamlessly loop as if it was in game. You know, once you get to a certain point in the song, the song doesn't like play the intro segment again. It's written in a way where it will go from verse 2 or verse 3 back to verse 1 seamlessly, and you just think that the song still has more to say, but it's already looped, right? But yeah, when you do a crossfade and then replay the intro, or crossfade and then crossfade back, that's super distracting and annoying.
It throws off the vibe.
Yeah, definitely. Because I could just if I just downloaded it to my phone, I'm pretty sure most phones let you loop a song right in a playlist. So I could just do that there and it would do the same effect. So I'm hoping over time they fix that, because I didn't know about that actually. Admittedly, I haven't used the app too much yet, but on paper, my takeaway is I like the idea. Obviously, we need way more options. And I guess one more thing is I do wonder. Truthfully, this is about Xenoblade, but I'm wondering how much like obscure, not fully owned by Nintendo music is going to be on this app, because like. Correct me if I'm wrong, Monolith is not owned by Nintendo, right? Or are they? I might be wrong on that, but Xenoblade I've always seen as like a second party. Like, yeah, it only comes out on Nintendo consoles, but I don't think
it is a wholly owned subsidiary. Okay. It's under Monolith Software Incorporated, owned by Namco originally.
Yes,
but no, it was later bought out by Nintendo. Yeah, in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, yeah, we definitely need to be seeing Xenoblade music on this app. I was thinking initially, like, oh, there's, you know, most of the music on this app is just from like Nintendo's like main studios, right? But then also we've got Kirby on here,
and not just Kirby
Laboratories.
As a huge Kirby fanatic, I do got to point out that I have managed to find half of Kirby's 64 songs through the other Kirby games. Like Kirby Star Allies has like 3 64 songs in it.
I love Kirby 64.
They had like a Robobot game in there too, and I was able to find some of the Kirby 64 through that. So yeah, like you can get some of that stuff already, but it stinks that I have to like go digging for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, it's like I said, I'm gonna probably not really use this app too much just yet. I mean, I I'll say I don't really have too much to complain about with the current game selection too much. They got most of what I would want like immediately. I guess to list off the games here for anyone listening who hasn't downloaded the app. They recently updated it with Super Mario Wonder. That wasn't there at launch, but it was the first one they added. And then base app had Pikmin 4, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which if I'm not mistaken, has some Toby Fox music in there, which is kind of interesting. Splatoon 3, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Kirby Star Allies, which, like Quinn said, has a lot of not just Kirby 64, but other Kirby games as well get referential music, but that's also kind of the Kirby series in a nutshell. Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which has like fucking like 90 or 100 songs in it. It's insane. Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Galaxy, can't go wrong with that. Wii channels, Tomodachi Collection, Nintendo.
23 tracks of Wii channels, by the way.
Is that all of them or no? All tracks is 62 tracks. So if you go to top tracks, it's a curated selection of what Nintendo deems their best. But underneath that is all tracks, and that's
62.
That's everything in that specific quote unquote game.
The Wii menu startup. Holy crap! I haven't actually looked at that one.
They also have Metroid Prime, which has a very underrated soundtrack. I love that game soundtrack. Weird pick for Game Boy Advance to be the only game representing the console right now, but we have Fire Emblem The Blazing Blade, which is really interesting that the app calls it The Blazing Blade because it's just called Fire Emblem in the States. That's the Japanese name for it.
Which also has good tracks.
Yeah, I mean, of course. For N64, we got Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 64. I'm just gonna say it. When Majora's Mask comes, I'll be 60-minute looping all the songs.
If it lets
for
you.
Super NES, we have DKC 2, DKC 1, and Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Game Boy Advance, original Game Boy is Kirby's Dream Land, which has, 10 tracks? No, 11. 11 tracks on top tracks. All tracks is 15. Excellent selection. Yep. Dr. Mario has 4 tracks in top tracks, and all tracks is 8. And then you have NES Metroid, weird pick, and also the Famicom version of that, which I just now realized those are 2 separate albums on here. Are there differences? I guess there has to be, right? Between Metroid and Metroid for Famicom. And then the original Mario is the last one.
I think the sounds used are the only difference.
Like the instruments.
The sound pool for the instruments is different.
Okay.
They had more sounds on the I think on the disc system.
I see. But yeah, that's my little ramble about the Nintendo app. Does anyone else have anything else to add? Or
I guarantee that they made this app to tie in with the clock playing music.
Well,
I bet you.
I think sorry, go ahead.
I would like to make a hard bet that you're going to be able to tie this app to that clock.
That would be cool. Weirdly enough, though, Ring Fit Adventure is not included in this app, but is on the clock.
Oh.
I don't have the clock, but that's just something off the top of my head that I'm aware of. What I will say is the other bit of Nintendo news, this isn't an extension of my topic necessarily, but Nintendo went ahead and said earlier this last week that Switch 2 will in fact have backwards compatibility. And another feature is NSO subscriptions from your current Switch will carry over and be relevant on the successor console. Nice. I think
the backwards compatibility, they also didn't say how.
Yeah, they didn't say how, but I mean, I think what was their wording? They said, does anyone actually have the exact quote?
No, but a lot of people were afraid that it was just going to be digital backwards compatibility. So if you've downloaded a game on your Switch, you can download it on
physical.
the Switch too.
I think it'll be physical like the DS and the GBA. I think if for some reason there's a separate card slot, or I mean, hell, the DS and the 3DS, right? If there's a separate cartridge slot from the one that's there, they could easily just put one for Switch 1. I don't think I'm holding up a copy of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in my hands right now. I don't think they're going to let this game not be playable on the successor console. Specifically the one I'm holding in my hand. That would be a business disaster, I feel, unless they plan to sell it again, which I don't know if that would really work out for them, because 65 million people own this game already. Mario Kart 8, flip the 8 on its side. What's it say? Mario Kart Infinite. All right? That's because you will forever play this fucking game.
Yep.
But no, I think the real reason why they introduced this app was just to give more reason for you to... I don't think this is a reason to get a subscription, but I think it's a reason to give you a reason to not cancel it once the Switch ends. I think they want to try to show you, or whether or not it's successful is up to you, I guess. But I think they're trying to show people that they want to do more with NSO, and that they want people who are currently subscribed to continue being subscribed even after the next console. But I think that'll wrap up my topic. So now let's move on to topic number 3. Your boy, Gary. Get in here. You've been too quiet this whole show. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's my turn to nerd out.
All right, let's hear it.
So, let me do my thing here.
Imagine November 9th.
No, I fucked it up. Never mind. November 9th, 2004. Nope, I can't. It's not funny anymore.
Do the pitch shifter again, motherfucker.
Okay, fine.
November 9th, 2004. A specific game has been released for everyone to play.
And yeah, that game is it's a pretty fun game.
Metroid Prime 2.
Metroid Prime 2. Let's go. But no. So November 9th, 2004 was the release of Halo 2. And Halo 2 was an exclusive, not exclusive, but a great game that I grew up with. I didn't remember it fully because by the time that it came out, I was only about 7 years old. So I don't remember playing much of it, as in like the story. I remember it being a great story game, however, because I never played it because I didn't own a console that was, I didn't own an Xbox at the time, but I would always just go over to like friends' houses and play Halo 2. I started Halo 1 with my cousin. That was around the time, I think, when we were just getting into more Xbox games because he had an Xbox and I didn't. But Halo 2 was one of the distinctive Halo games that I remember playing and growing up with. It had turned 20 years old 3 days ago. So I'm just kind of going back and putting on the nostalgia vision of how fun it was to discover a game that I had never thought in my life that I would play, because at that time I was still playing like GameCube games and like maybe occasionally a PS1 game, but my primary console was like a Game Boy Advance with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 on it. Like I didn't have like, I don't want to say I didn't have good games, but like I didn't have memory cards, so every time I'd play a game I'd have to restart. I didn't have save
life
files.
Before Minecraft, games weren't good.
I never really experienced it. So when I was able to go over to hang out with like other people or like my friends and my cousin and stuff, and he was playing Halo 2, I was like, oh, what's this? Like, what's this game? I've never heard of Halo. And because I got into Halo 1 after I got into Halo 2, because Halo 2 was my introduction.
Mm-hmm.
But with Halo 2, I remember the amount of hours that I spent playing the multiplayer with all of my buddies, just getting together, having a nice little like Xbox LAN party. Not LAN party, but like what is it? It's the split screen. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting around the Xbox and the glowing night and the TV just being on and absolutely just blasting each other with fucking rocket launchers and stuff. And I remember Halo 2 just being incredibly fun. And I'm just kind of reminiscing on the fact that, hey, like, this game is 20 now.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that it's already been that long since this game came out. But to even think about like how gaming has completely changed from then to now, and how advanced, like how far we have advanced with like game development.
Right.
Halo 2 was one of my starter games when it came to getting my own Xbox. When I got my first Xbox, when I got my Xbox, the first game I asked for it was Halo 2 because I wanted to play it and I wanted to go through the campaign of it. And I was still young. I wasn't super. I was whatever. I was young. I was 7 by the time that I got the game. I was probably around, like 8-ish. So about a year after it was released.
What's the highest difficulty you've beaten that on?
I have beaten Halo 2 on heroic. That is the highest I've gone. But if I have the Master Chief Collection, I could go on legendary. Yeah. But I remember when I played it as a kid, because obviously I'm smaller and I don't know much about the game mechanics and stuff. I played it on easy. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm kicking ass. Whatever, I'm awesome. And regardless, it was just a fun, enjoyable memory that I have for this game.
I played Halo 2 for the first time earlier this year with a buddy of mine, Caleb. Which, fun fact, I'll shill for him. He just recently beat the game on Legendary for his first time, and Halo 2 is like one of his favorite games. So he was like super hyped about that, like a month or two ago, whenever it was he did that. He also just like went to like a con in like Columbus like last weekend and met like the voice actor for Chief and Cortana and all that, and got
I saw his pictures that he posted online.
Yeah. But anyways, I played Halo 2 the story for my first time with him on hard mode. I believe that was earlier this year, like January or February or so. But my first exposure to Halo 2 is a story that I've told a couple of times on stream, but I played it at a church.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, the multiplayer for it. There was like this little back area that like after service, like my parents would spend years just yapping with all the other churchgoers, and us kids were like, this shit's boring, let's go have some fun. And so we went into the back area, and there was an original Xbox back there. I remember being bad at it, but I played Halo 2 multiplayer on the big windmill map. That's like a core memory for me. And in general, these days, I haven't really played too much Halo. I've played the first game and now the second game. 3 will probably be sometime early next year. I think I might try to play it. But I mean, it's no surprise to me why these games have such a huge legacy, even though I mostly missed out on them until just recently,
Yeah, for me, coming in with Halo 2 was the starter. But between like all the current Halo games, my favorite would have to be either Halo 2 or Halo Reach.
And that's like everybody's opinion, to be honest with you. Reach was huge.
Reach was insane. I remember the day that the beta came out for the multiplayer, and because I had played it, well, you had to get it through Halo 3. So if you didn't have, I think it was the Mythic version of Halo 3 that you had to have, that was the multiplayer disc only that had all the DLC. But if you had that version and you had enough space in your Xbox, your 360, you were able to download the beta for Halo Reach. And I remember the day coming home from school and just downloading Halo Reach and having an absolute blast, because I loved Halo 3. I spent so much time. I have a whole YouTube channel that was dedicated to making Halo 3 videos that is still up to this day, and I go back and watch it every once in a while because like I like that nostalgia, because I was younger, I was having so much fun making these Halo videos with my cousin, and I would watch like
back then.
Yeah, exactly. I was watching like Machinima and all these people, Red versus Blue, even like there was just a lot of cool stuff around in the Halo community around that Halo 2, Halo 3 era, because I didn't start watching the show Red versus Blue until about halfway, maybe all the way up until the end of Reach's life, because Halo Reach had lasted a while, but I didn't get into the Red versus Blue. I got into the Machinima part of it, but not Red versus Blue specifically for the Halo stuff.
And see, I'm the disconnected one, I suppose. The first Halo game I played, and it was at a LAN party, was Halo 3. I was still pretty young when it happened, and I got invited to like a party at a house, and I was like, "What the hell is everybody playing here?" And they all broke it down, and I only played it for only a split second. The first one that I played all the way through was Reach.
Reach
and
was so good.
Reach was game changing. That was like the first competitive shooting game I ever played. Like, and actually played.
I remember I was part of a clan a couple times. I've been in a couple clans when it came to Halo because there was a time where I would just eat, sleep, and breathe Halo, and I was super into it, and that was the only game I played. And then, unfortunately for me, Call of Duty got introduced. That was the turning point. I played Call of Duty 4, and then I was all like, oh, wait, this game is so much fun. And then Modern Warfare 2, 2009 came out, and I was hooked to Call of Duty then. But with Halo, I, as much as I like Halo, the modern stuff for Halo, like Infinite, is pretty mediocre. Halo 5, or Halo 4, excuse me, I didn't really like that much.
Did you watch the Halo show?
I avoided it because of how bad I've heard of everything about it. I watched.
Doesn't
so
Master
when they
Chief
did,
fuck in that show?
yes, yeah, he takes his helmet off,
Oh shit!
which is, and he shows his face, which is like apparent. It's really bad. But every time I've the only stuff that I ever watched was like when they did Forward Unto Dawn, and they had just like that special Halo. I can't remember what it was, but it was like Halo Oracle or something like that. They had their own little Halo app to where you could go watch Forward Unto Dawn and other stuff that they had provided for like the developing of other stuff. Like with that, I call it the Bungie era. Is essentially when Bungie owned it, and then not 343 Industries.
But 343 dropped the ball enough that I'd like to see somebody else take up the mantle for Halo. Like they already said, was it Halo Studios is what they redid?
Yeah, they're renaming to Halo Studios.
I think, and this is another hot take by Quinn. I think
Sounds
the
good.
first big mistake 343 made was they didn't add in a multiplayer. What do they call it? They didn't do a battle royale, is what they didn't do. When everybody else went down that route except for them, and surprise, surprise, that is the least talked about shooter now. Like, when you're talking about good shooters, everybody immediately goes to like Fortnite or Call of Duty. Well, what do those have in common that things like Halo don't? And that's like the big one, is they don't have a battle royale. And I think if they did that,
and Halo have something in common. They both have the green man,
the master chief.
Yeah. I think if they do make a new game and they want to bring themselves back from the ashes, because that's kind of where they're at right now, they need to do that.
See, I'm a little bit bittersweet with it because I really like the Master Chief Collection because of the fact that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 I can really deal without. Reach is on there too. And the customization, the armor pieces, like to see all these old games get new content to them really kind of revitalizes something in me for me to be like, oh, I want to play more Halo because I want to grind out new armor for this old game that I really adored back in the day.
Didn't we briefly talk about like a Halo like remaster or something on Pixel Pulse like a few weeks ago or like a few episodes ago?
I think we were talking about maybe like a Halo 3 like Dream remaster or something. Something? I have no idea.
There's something in the back of my mind says we talked about something like this, but I can't remember. Maybe I made that up.
How much do they got to do that before we start feeling like they're beating a dead horse, though?
Yeah.
This is the same problem we were just talking about with Sonic. Like, how often do we got to see Green Hill Zone? Well, how often do I got to see an old Halo game come back?
Yeah.
Before I'm like, okay, I'm tired of it.
Right. And I think I'm there with you. I feel, yeah, like kind of how Captain Frost says, like, I feel like they already are. Because the only thing that I would really, really want if they were to remaster one more game, honestly, is probably Reach. I don't even care if they. I would say Reach. I would rather have Reach to be remastered.
I about cut you off, and I about had to end this call. I was just about to say ODST. I was about to be that guy.
Yeah, ODST was kind of underrated.
I was about to say they should totally try it.
Oh, that would be an interesting remake if they did that. ODST was that's kind of the one that was like tucked away to the side because ODST wasn't super popular. A lot of people didn't really like go with ODST.
Yep.
And I liked the story. I liked the stealthiness of the game. Like the entirety is pretty much just stealth.
Yep.
The game felt really fun to play. And of course, you get recon right at the beginning. Well, not right at the beginning, but like you don't have to do the Vidmaster challenges to get a specific armor that you wanted. And sure, the customization wasn't as good, but like the gameplay, because it was still Halo 3. It was still the Halo 3 engine.
Yep.
And it just had a whole different side story to it. And that was introduced with Firefight. Firefight was a game changer.
Yep.
Firefight was insane.
My favorite game mode.
Yeah, it introduced the whole wave aspect of like wave of enemies just coming and coming and coming, and you just shoot them all dead. Like it's super fun. It's sure it might be repetitive, but like they were going up against the likes of Call of Duty World at War's zombie mode. Like it's a huge battlefield for them, and I felt like that was a really good step in the right direction for them.
Now, hearing what you've said and what I've said, it brings up the secondary question of that. Sure, Halo can keep going, but I think the Master Chief story is dead. I think that story should just be laid to rest. The Halo universe is so wide and so deep. There's been so many books made, so much more to the story than just Master Chief. Games like Reach proved that.
Yes,
games like ODST proved that.
Yeah, they did them so well too. That's like there wasn't any
whole new Arbiter.
They can make a whole new story. They can make a whole new story about a whole different squad that has nothing to do with anything that we've seen so far. And I think a fresh take on this series would be exactly what they need.
I agree. I agree 100% because Master Chief, even after like the fourth game, I was like, okay, like let's try to go to something else because I don't know for those who've played like Halo Wars. Wars was not bad. It's what is it like an RTS kind of?
Yeah,
you would say like an RTS game. Halo Wars was interesting, and it was a different twist because you're controlling armies, you're building up your armies and stuff like that. And the story for Halo Wars, from what I can recall, because I didn't play too much of Halo Wars. I played Halo Wars 2 for a little bit. I played Halo Wars, the first one, for a little bit. But from what I recall, like the story was different and unique, and it didn't have anything to do with the Master Chief. And there's like books and stuff like that in the Halo universe and stuff too that usually don't dip into Master Chief himself. There's a lot of them that have like a lot of side story. Some of them, like I remember a majority of the books that at least my cousin would talk to me about were with Master Chief as like the main character. But
it takes 20 years before Halo Combat evolved.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, so it was after the whole Covenant invasion of like Harvest happened.
No,
but
go
ahead.
I was gonna say I got a big lore question for you, Agari.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the kerfuffle?
A kerfuffle,
or what was it called? There was like the one thing I remember about the plot of Halo 2 was my friend Caleb explaining to me that like the Arbiters or whatever, the big aliens, they had like a war back in the day, and it was like then called the war the like kerfuffle or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know if the word was kerfuffle. I feel like it was something else, but I can't remember what it is.
Hang on,
I can't remember.
I'll try to look into it. You were about to say something else.
Oh yeah, I was gonna just agree again with Quinn. Like I believe that they should definitely, like the story of Master Chief is over. I feel like they've ran their course with that, and they should just stop, because we can definitely but we can bring other stories into the Halo universe. It's like how, I guess this is kind of a pop culture-y way to kind of bring it up, but like, you know how they're doing Star Wars, like, and there's the whole extended universe aspect of Star Wars. Like, the fact that sure it's owned by Disney now, but they're expanding off into stuff like the Clone Wars or Andor, or all these other shows that they have. You can label off whatever show, but it's a side step. It's a side story. It's something that's new, that's not to the main movies. And sure, it may include characters like Clone Wars has, Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ahsoka has visions with Anakin, etc. But they're not mainly based around like main characters of like the story. So, like Ahsoka, again, for an example, she has visions with Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker isn't the main character of the show, but he's brought in and he's shown important information, important plot. I feel like, I don't think that specifically is necessary for Halo, but it's time to step away from Master Chief and give him a fucking break.
Like a supporting role.
Yeah, like a supporting role or something. Like, sure, he's from what, like everyone kind of expects him to be, is like the almighty God-man, Master Chief that saved Halo, or that did whatever, saved Halo. But, like John Halo is pretty much how everyone expects him to be. And it's just like, he doesn't need to play a supporting role, but like, he just needs to kind of be put off. Like, he's spending all this time trying to go for Cortana, trying to do this for Cortana, trying to do that for Cortana. Like, sure, maybe that whole thing can be a side story of its own, because wasn't Reach, if I remember, there was like a point where you were delivering Cortana to something in the Reach story. I can't remember, but you had to actually talk to the scientist lady that was behind Cortana. Yeah, it was something similar to that. I just can't remember it like directly off the top of my head.
I thought Reach was a prequel to Halo 1.
It is.
But doesn't Chief meet Cortana? I haven't played it, but doesn't Chief meet Cortana in Halo 1?
Yeah. It's a prequel.
Right.
So Reach goes before, well, but the way that
how does that
I'm going to remember this wrong, because it was like they were delivering something to the creator of Cortana. I think I just said it wrong. They were delivering, yeah, and the original scientist that Cortana was based off of was involved in the story.
I see.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to flesh it out too, I'm looking at just a timeline just to see. Halo Wars, as far as the timeline goes, is the earliest of the Halo games. That's like the first true like storyline Halo game that should be put before everything else. But before Halo Wars, I am looking at, so that takes about at place at 2531 is the date of Halo Wars in their storyline. But the story of Halo goes all the way back to 100,000 BCE, and it goes all the way up to, in the storyline, to 2559, which is the Rubicon Protocol, which is the newest Halo thing that dropped.
Yeah.
They have so much that they could work with. They really could.
Yeah. It's an I would dare say infinite universe.
Could you say Halo Infinite?
A Halo Infinite universe?
The funny part about that, there is a book called Halo Infinite. Takes place right before the Rubicon Protocol.
Are the books like canon though, or is it like the Star Wars books where like
the books are canon.
Movie writers don't give a shit about what the books say?
The books are considered canon, yes.
Okay.
And
a lot of them are
the
just
fuck?
short stories, but
yeah.
there is like 3 or 4 times where like time travel's broken up, and like there's a whole thing. There's like a whole entire saga about like some painter named Soma that everybody wants to see like incorporated into it. They have a lot to play with. It's just 343 has done a really good job at like wiping the board clean of Bungie and everything Bungie, and like trying to distance themselves so hard from that they just probably need to like go away. I would like 343 needs to go away for Halo to live.
Yeah, I would say that. I don't know if I'm going to use the right terminology here, but like I believe Halo Reach was probably the magnum opus of the Halo series. I would 100% say that. I don't know if that's the right terminology for it, but I feel like that Reach was peak, and as soon as Bungie stepped away from it, it all just crumbled downhill.
Yeah.
I mean, transitioning studios, no matter what you're working with, there's going to be a lot of changes, I think. As someone who honestly hasn't played any of past two, but
and I've been talking to a couple friends about this exact subject. I don't think if Bungie would have kept it, it would have stayed good. I feel like it needs a fresh set of eyes. Yeah, you could see a lot of companies that are doing this right now. You could look at how big a flop the new Dragon Age game was, right? That company's had their hands on Dragon Age for so long, but you got to think most of those people are like in my age now, like 30-somethings, kind of detached from what the new norm is for gaming, detached from what new gamers want to see, trying to push agendas, just a whole lot of melting pot into a bad game. And I think if Bungie would have stuck around this long, that it would have happened to them inevitably as well. So it needs to be a fresh set of eyes. It needs to. Otherwise, the game is dead in the dirt.
It doesn't need to be like it doesn't need to be like a whole new studio like Halo Studio. Well, I mean, I guess Halo Studios is 343 still considered, kind of.
Technically, a lot of the heads are still there. Okay, they changed the name in hopes that people probably won't think of them as 343, but a lot of the ideals, a lot of the higher ups are still there. A lot of their like PA managers are still there, which is a kind of a turnoff. If they make a new game, it better differentiate from the last three they've made.
Absolutely,
it needs to. And if they don't, we're gonna know. We'll know immediately.
And, yeah, we'll know because they can't just get away with John Halo forever. You know, like they're beating the dead horse. And I feel like a lot of Halo fans are kind of in the same boat. Like, sure, Halo, Infinite? The storyline for Infinite wasn't... I still never beat it, personally. And I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people that are all like, oh, well, Halo Infinite's like the best out of the last three that came out. But
Infinite wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the Halo I know. But
that's exactly how I feel.
On the same note, is it also very... I wouldn't say altruistic. Is it more me trying to be greedy for them to make a Halo game for people like me? I mean, like I said, we're 30-somethings. I'm 30-something. I don't need a new Halo game. There needs to be a Halo game for the younger audience to suck themselves into the way it sucked me into it. And if I don't fall in line with that, then I guess I'm just getting old, right? My worldview on what makes a good game is going to be a lot different than the new gamers, the new generation of people playing games now. Seriously, I'm being serious. Like,
yeah.
It's a whole matter of they don't need to make a game for me. They don't need to make a game for people of my age because the game for my age was Halo 3. Was Halo Reach. I think if we re-release those games again, kids won't be sucked into it because it's, for them, a clunky game with limited movement and limited items and limited areas. And, oh my God, the maps are tiny. That's how they're going to see it. They need to make something for these guys. Not us.
Dare I say they give them too much to do so that they keep themselves entertained. It's like, I like to say it's stim maxing. Like you're doing a lot of things at once to keep the brain occupied. I do it all the time. Like admittedly right now I have a stream up on my TV that I'm watching at the same time as talking with you guys and focusing on whatever. I got my phone right here. Like if I need to answer a text message, I'm right there, but I have my attention everywhere at all times. And I feel like games nowadays are trying to focus that attention span of like, hey, you got so much shit going on. Especially you will fall with this one, Quinn, with the new Call of Duty. I feel like it absolutely does that.
Yeah, it's got to. It has to. If it was just like old Call of Duties where it was just like the 8 standard game modes, I probably wouldn't be playing as much. But the fact that I can swap between like so much different content on the same platform is kind of what sucks people in. There's something for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you look at the latest, what is it, Halo Infinite? Give me 10 seconds. I'll let you talk for a second, but I'm going to cut you off. I just want to see how many multiplayer game modes
Oh, yeah. I think
are in Halo Infinite.
there wasn't many, if I can recall.
There
was
wasn't.
There was like maybe
But didn't they
maybe
add
10
stuff over time?
Yeah, but it's like special edition, not special edition, but like special modes and stuff like that they rotate out.
Yeah, they had Capture the Flag, Fiesta, Oddball, Slayer, Stockpile, Strongholds, and Total Control. That's
7?
it. That's 7.
7?
Yep. They got rid of Infected, which was crazy.
Well, that's crazy that they got rid of Infected, because
That was that was like one of their most well-known game modes,
Yeah.
and like their 2 games prior to that. But to go from 7 possible game modes in this and compare it to we'll compare it to Modern Warfare 2 and 3 that just recently came out not too long ago. It's a black and white difference. And then on top of that, they also had Battle Royale. So it's no question as to why Infinite failed.
Yeah, and you can argue like maybe for Infinite that like, oh yeah, there's Forge. That's pretty much it. But
There's
like,
Ben Forge.
I know there's Ben Forge, and like every mode that you play for a Forge, for like a custom games or something like that, you don't. Well, first of all, you don't get XP for it because it's a custom game. Second of all, they're all just small different iterations of like each different game mode, which in this case is 7. So like you got Griff Ball, you got your Oddball, you got King of the Hill. You know, like there's only so much you can do with specific game modes before you're just like, okay, is there anything else you're gonna offer me?
Yeah, I can only kill somebody with a grid so many times before I get bored of it.
Exactly. Like it's just having that little to offer for a game like that, for a game that has, I would say has such a big like expectation. IP. Yeah,
its IP is huge.
Yeah, I'd expect something better out of it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, my nostalgia for it is Halo 2 was good. Halo 3 was good. Halo Reach was good.
Here's to hoping that the new Halo studios, they've already showcased some of the stuff that they've got. They're going to be utilizing was it the new Unity?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. Smaller details. Like a lot of people are saying, like my age, that are looking at the new screenshots. They're like, this is how I thought Halo 2 looked back in the day.
Yeah.
And you go back and look at Halo 2 and it looks obviously blocky, but to me when I was young, that's how
what
it
it looked
looked for me. It was so nice and so detailed and so crazy. So here's to hoping that they can at least revitalize something off of it in the future.
Yeah, because I got to push that 4070 in my system, bro. Like I need good graphics.
I need a house fire.
Yeah. I need my shit to light on fire.
All right.
But that wraps it up for me.
Yeah. So what do we got, lads, for pop culture? Pokemon TCG. Quinn, you suggested this one. Go ahead.
Oh,
I don't know what the fuck this is about. What's up with the TCG?
Oh, man. Okay, so everybody who is anybody has heard about this game releasing. Most people have downloaded it just to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not the other one, but because there's 2 now.
That's the one where you actually open the packs, right?
Yeah. So that came out and it was whirlwind. Everybody has just been cracking packs left and right, boys. My experience with it was very mixed. I believe that again for the younger generation, it's quick paced. It feels more like more like Yu-Gi-Oh, kind of in the way of what is going to happen in the matches by turn 1. A lot of people are already like finding ways to break it. Let's not bring up Misty. There's a card in there that's Misty, where you can coin flip to get energy, and you need energy to attack. And it keeps giving you energy until you flip a tails. So like turn 1, your opponent who's going first can play a Pokemon, play a Misty, put as many energies as they want to on that Pokemon, and either lock you out of the game or just have something crazier than what you're going to do turn 2, unless you're also doing the same thing. And
is that meta in the real card game too, though?
No, because the real card game plays differently. It's still like the way that we know it, to where like turn 1, you'd play a creature, you'd play an energy, and your turn would end. You wouldn't get to attack. Turn 2 would get to attack. If I'm not mistaken. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up the rulings.
I haven't played Pokemon TCG all that much. I have some cards. I used to just open packs and collect them and open them up on stream. It was kind of fun, but
see, that's where I'm at with it. Is like I like the app so that I can open up cards. That's pretty much where I'm with it, because
you get like what, 2 free packs a day, or how's the frequency?
It's a free pack every 12 hours, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on a time limit.
Yeah.
I was correct. So in normal TCG for Pokemon, the player going first draws, attaches an energy, and ends turn. They've changed up that, and on top of that, just the way energy works, if I'm not mistaken, in the new version of it is different as well, because there's like an energy pile. It's not part of your deck, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. They went towards more of like a Magic Gathering. Everybody gets to play something every turn, no matter what kind of deal. And it wasn't for me. It turned me off pretty quick. I'm like, well, if they're going to make a product that's supposed to reflect the TCG and then not follow the TCG's rules, it made me lose interest. Where the other app follows the rules to a T, but the cards are harder to obtain.
So what's the other app?
Is that the one with that you get if you scan the QR codes in your Pokemon card, like physically?
It follows the current meta rotation and everything.
Because I remember downloading, because that version is available on PC, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I remember downloading that one, and I had a couple Pokemon code cards, Pokemon codes.
Yeah,
I redeemed them every once
on
in a while.
Stream. I would always register them so people couldn't steal my cards, because fuck.
So the new big one is Pokemon TCG Pocket, but the one that I played was TCG Live.
Okay.
That one 2.3 stars compared to the new one's 4.6 star review. It was a night and day as far as playability goes, but like I said, it changed enough that I could not get into it. Right. But a lot of people will disagree with me on that, because a lot of people are playing it right now, like a lot.
Yeah, I open the app just to open up the cards, because I like the idea that I'm able to open up cards and collect rare things without having to spend money. Which is why for a long time there, I was very heavily into this card game shop simulator, because they made it to where you can open up as many packs as you want and get rares and like ghost rares and stuff like that were like really expensive. Like, sure, you weren't making real money off of it, but for me, it kind of scratched that itch. Like I was able to open up cards and just like get excited over a rare that I found that was worth like $100. And I could do that in real life too, and have the satisfaction of opening up a card in real life. But you know, like at that point, I'm shoving $60 down a drain for a trainer pack so that I can get 9 card packs out of, and maybe not even get a rare. I don't have to dump the money into it. I can just dump $15 into the game, and that's it. It still gives me the same gratification, at least for me. I don't know if this applies to anyone else, but for me, it gives me that same gratification of like, oh, I just opened up a rare card that I can sell to make money, even though it's a digital thing. And I don't know. For me, it scratches that itch.
Can you sell them digitally?
Yeah, not like you can't trade them on like a Steam marketplace, because like the way that it works is it's a simulator game, so you sell them to the customers in the game. But it's still, for me, again, it still kind of just feels that gratification. Like I've opened up a rare card and I'm selling this card to make money.
I see.
Yeah, it's just kind of an addiction.
I also so I've been to everybody who's listening to this right now. I just got to say that when we were in our pregame show before we actually went live, we were trying to figure out
pre-gaming it.
We were trying to figure out what to talk about in pop culture. So because of that, since we've started, I've been looking up oddball pop culture things that are big right now, and I found one.
Okay,
something that might be. Okay, so here's the title. Mattel warns parents of mislabeled Wicked doll packages, like the new Wicked thing. Yeah. The doll packages with a link to adult film site.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Apparently they're taking immediate action after social media users noticed a glaring mistake on the packaging for the company's new line of dolls. So apparently if you go to Walmart right now and look at these dolls, specifically the ones that have the Ariana Grande and the Cynthia El Revio, there's a labeling error on the packaging that directs fans to an adult film website instead of the official Wicked movie link.
How does this happen?
How does that happen? This
was like malintent, wasn't it?
To www.wicked.com. Don't go there. It is an adult film site.
Oh no. That's
so
bad.
What's the actual like domain name that they were trying to direct? Was it a genuine mistake, or was this someone like?
It was a genuine mistake. I could pull up the website right now and tell you what it's supposed to be.
Wicked.com. That's terrible. That just, I mean, that kind of screams something bad. But I mean, the movie's called Wicked.
It's supposed to be called wickedthemusical.com. It's that they just did wicked.com, which is a whole different thing.
Was that intern not paid like properly?
They just got pissed off.
How this happened.
Well, regardless of which, they've pulled off they've said they've pulled off all of the packaging with the labeling error. But people are still posting pictures.
I was going to say, dude, you know eBay's going to be flooded with those dolls that have the Wicked website on them.
Scalpers went probably crazy. This has got to be, they're going to be making some money off of that for sure.
Speaking of scalpers, people are trying, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you keep going.
I was going to say, like, because the PS5 Pro came out recently, and scalpers are having, or like close to it or something, like the Pro's coming, but like scalpers are trying to sell it on eBay already for some reason, and they're like having a hard time like trying to get it because nobody wants to spend $1,000 on a PS5 Pro.
No one wants to spend $700, let alone the marked up scalper price.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for a system that effectively, in my opinion, does less.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing something about that, and that reminded me.
Yeah, for sure, it's a collector's item, Megan.
Yeah.
Is there any Concord news? Can we talk? Do we have an excuse to talk about Concord for the fifth stream?
The studio got shut down.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about that last time, or is that new? Is that actually news?
That's a recent.
We didn't talk about that.
Okay.
Not only
here
Concord.
we go. Concord, mention again.
Concord, let's go.
The studio shut down. What the hell is Sony going to do now with their $400 million investment?
Well, Sony has already said they've came out publicly and stated that the next year of rotating games that they're going to have are going to be single player experiences, and that they're going to stray away from doing the live service games now.
Mm-hmm.
How much I believe that? Honestly, I don't know.
I don't know if I believe that, but if that's the case, good. Because I don't want to play live service. I don't want to play with you anymore. Drops Woody.
Drops.
And we're seeing the death of a lot of major gaming things. Live service dying in Sony is one of them. We're seeing like the death of like some major news outlets, like Kotaku's going downhill now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody remembers. Yeah, they've done like massive layoffs recently, like massive. Like they're down to like just bare bones at this point. When you're comparing them to things like IGN, there's no candle to be held. You can just go on the websites and see the difference. You can see the difference between the two if you go to their websites. And Kotaku doesn't have their fingers in anything new. Like they don't do streaming services. They don't get on YouTube and do things on YouTube. They're dying. But
Speaking
Concord
of
for sure
IGN,
needed to go.
Did you see the big IGN drama this week?
No.
Uh-oh, drama alert, get in here.
No.
IGN gave Mario and Luigi Brothership a 5 out of 10, and all other publications were giving it like 9s and 8s. But might I remind you, they gave Concord a 7.
They continued to shit on it, apparently.
Yeah, I keep noticing, I follow IGN on Facebook for some unknown reason, and I keep seeing that they keep reposting their same review. It's not like, oh, this is the same one. No, they make a new post. It says 1 hour ago, and it's the same fucking review. Like, they love showing off this shitty this had to have been like intentional to like get attention to IGN. Like, I see no other thing. Yeah, rage baiting. Like, I see no other explanation for this.
That gets to a deep topic of, and if I ever come back on here again, I already got my next.
After this one, you're gone. You're not coming back.
Yeah, I've already got my next topic already on hold, and it's the death of reviews. As far as publications go, I can't take a single one seriously anymore, and that happened after Dragon Age, man. Because the people, the publisher of Dragon Age was purposely like deleting negative reviews and only keeping up the ones that like sucked them off, for lack of better words. And that just goes to show that reviews by outside sources don't mean a dang thing. Get all of your reviews from YouTubers, from whoever else you need to. Don't listen to a dang thing. And yeah, Kotaku's going down, but man, who's next?
Subscribe to the gaming outlet for hot reviews. And just kidding, the Pixel Pulse is the only thing we do right now.
Soon, TM.
Soon, trademark 2028.
That sounds right about how it should be, though.
Yeah. When is your bean stream? Sona Chat is asking. Okay, so I made a promise. Like, I hit like a sub goal like 8 months ago, and I was supposed to eat beans on stream, and I never did. I was supposed to do like a sampler platter of like various kinds of beans, like chili beans, black beans, soybeans, green beans, like any type of beans that I could find. But the problem was I started setting up to record my bean stream. I actually had a lot of beans going around, but I wanted to do it from my living room where my dining room table was at. But I couldn't really, like, I only have like a webcam and my phone for cameras. So I don't really have a way to set up a camera in there because I don't otherwise have a camera. And I was far too lazy to ask around if people had cameras that wasn't just like my phone or something. So I've just been too lazy to do it.
You could. I'm gonna one up your idea.
Okay.
I think instead of a bean tasting stream, we need a bean bathing stream. the bean bath needs to happen.
And take a bath. How long do I have to be in the tub?
The bean bath stream.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
pouring a whole bunch of beans all over Gob.
Like if I'm in there for like a minute or two, okay, cool, nice stream. But like, do I have to do like Q&A or like how does this function?
Instead of working like the original bean stream idea of where, yeah, but you could just eat it, right? So instead of
a tub full of beans,
yeah, instead of talking about how the beans taste, we could talk about how the beans feel. Does it have a good? Is it like getting into your pores and working and cleansing? You know.
Are you?
I'm gonna be the guy to say that probably the best feeling bean to bathe in is gonna be bushes.
How does it feel to be like bathing in refried beans? You know, like all sorts of different beans.
Do I have to do like a series of bean like bath tests? And just be like, this is the refried bean test. This one's the baked bean test. Here's the green bean stream. Oh, we're going pinto this time.
Yeah,
that's exactly you
could really farm that content pretty hard, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, I don't want to be the bean streamer. I don't want to bean.
Well,
the beans.
That kind of leads into a different conversation here, because if we're talking about food, you know, is cereal soup?
Oh yeah, okay. Grab bag time. Is cereal soup? Yes or no?
Is Bush's baked bean soup?
Is
Yes.
chili soup?
Chili is soup. Yes.
Oh boy, we got a yes.
Also is cheesecake more cheese or cake?
I would like to imagine it's more cheese than cake.
I think it's more cake. I don't.
Well, I mean,
I don't put cheesecake on a burger.
The cheesecake in itself is a cake, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's made of
name.
cheese. Some sort of cheese, right?
I would like to think of cheesecake as like an open face pie, right?
Ricotta.
It's a crustless pie because you can have it cold and still be. I mean, you can still have cake cold too, but I like to heat up a cake a little bit and have it with like ice cream, and the melted ice
like
cream
a
makes it
warm
better.
What about ice cream cake?
But
Is
that's not
ice
a cake,
cream
though. That's
cake
just
ice cream or is it cake?
And once it melts, is it soup?
Fuck. These are the real questions, guys.
What
Welcome
is
to Pixel Pulse
mozzarella?
when we ask the real questions.
What is
Ricotta
mozzarella
cheesecake is not
sticks?
cream cheese.
How do we like categorize mozzarella sticks? Like what are they?
It's a jalapeno-less jalapeno popper.
What would that be classified? I mean, I don't know.
Mozzarella sticks?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I used to have I'm gonna use this last few minutes to just hop on Google real quick because there is a determining factor as to what foods can be classified as. And I think if all sides are covered and the product is in the middle, it's considered. I think they called it like a pie or something like that.
Yeah, no, I remember because there was a whole not menu, but like there was a whole thing about it. It was like a food pyramid kind of.
Do you have this image or
a
link?
ravioli? It's a ravioli.
Yeah, yeah, that's what
yeah, mozzarella sticks are ravioli.
No,
I remember that.
Yeah. Thank you, Megan.
It's a ravioli, man. And then what was it like? If it was open faced with two sides, it was considered a taco.
Yeah, so technically a hot dog's a taco.
Yeah, And then if it was completely open, I think it was a
chili
pizza.
dog be a ravioli because the chili covers the other open face. Well, I guess
It'd
it's
be a
not
soup
covered on all
ravioli.
sides. It's still open on the ends.
Yep.
So
It'd
then
be a
what is
soup
it?
covered hot dog.
But yeah, a mozzarella stick, in fact, is a ravioli.
I love that idea. I'm gonna just go next time I want some mozzarella sticks. I'm gonna go to Arby's and be like, "Hey, yeah, can I just get some like the 6-pack of ravioli, please?" They're gonna be so confused. Speaking of Arby's, the other day I saw that they do deep fried turkey.
Yep.
Oh.
And I was like, I can't imagine that. I don't know how that tastes.
Wait, the only thing
if you decide to coleslaw a hot dog, dude, coleslaw and hot dog is not bad though.
What?
If you decide to coleslaw a hot dog,
yeah, you could put coleslaw on a hot dog.
I don't think that's what Froze is talking about though. I think they're talking about turning a hot dog into coleslaw.
But yeah,
like
what is Froze saying? The exact chat message is reminder that if you decide to coleslaw a hot dog, it's like it's chili. You are not a person. That is
reading
the
that, maybe not a
chat
person.
message.
I had a stroke.
Is coleslaw a soup? Or no, coleslaw would be a salad, right?
Coleslaw's fucking trash. That's what it is.
Is ranch soup?
It's ranch soup.
No, ranch is oh my god, ranch is a smoothie. Right? This is the same way ketchup's a smoothie.
What? I've never heard this before.
Ketchup is just tomato smoothie.
Ew.
So
but
ranch,
you're not wrong.
Ranch in technicality would be a cold smoothie, which is just a smoothie. It is buttermilk, and then just random seasonings and flavors like chives and stuff like that. It's a smoothie.
Oh my god, it's a smoothie. It really is.
Yeah. Technically, it is a buttermilk smoothie.
Yeah, and Froze also has a point.
So go drink it.
I will. I love ranch. I will drink ranch. I like ranch on my pizza. I like ranch on the side. I like ranch on my salad. I'll drink ranch till the end of the days.
I'm checking out on this one. I got nothing.
You got no food takes?
Yeah, I've got some food takes, but I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it.
All right, well maybe that's a good point to end on.
I think my brain is just like, I think I like my
It's
brain
smoothie now.
got. Yeah, my brain is a smoothie, just like tomato smoothie.
He's trying to stay unproblematic.
Yeah.
That's fair, Megan.
I wish to make no alignments in any strong opinions one way or another.
Oh my God, is poop a sausage?
All right, thank you,
And with that,
everyone.
Quinn, we really appreciated you having yourself on this show for half the amount of total episodes that we've had so far. Thank you, special guest Quinn. Where can anyone find you at?
Oh, you can find Quinn on Twitch. Quinn is trash underscores between each word. We're there Fridays and Sundays, and like yesterday when I couldn't get off of Shadow Generations, sometimes Saturdays. Catch me there.
Okay. Bogari, who are you?
Wow, who am I? I apparently am a
Are you
Gari.
a sausage?
I a poop sausage. You can find me at Agari_Uchu on Twitch, AGARI_UCHU. You can find me on Blue Sky, Twitter, YouTube at Agari Uchu. I'm all over the place. You can find me wherever. I'm a VTuber, so I don't show my face, but you can find me online. I go by Agari Uchu, and I am, as far as I know, the only Agari to exist as a VTuber on the internet.
So far.
All right.
I'm going to become a Gari
Yep,
next.
there you go. Yeah, See? Flood them. Flood the comments. Not the comments, but whatever.
I am the Dugginator. That is what they call me. They also call me Gabriel Surge, twitch.tv/GabrielSurgeVA. That I put that on my job application. They said, "What's your name?" I said, www.twitch.tv/GabrielSurgeVA. That is my name.
That's on your resume.
Go to that website if you're not currently watching from that website to like and subscribe. Just kidding. There's no like button on Twitch. You can just subscribe, except that costs money. So just follow. I play. I'm going to be playing Xenoblade X, which I went this whole stream without mentioning that Xenoblade X was announced to come to Switch. I already got my rocks off with that one though, because I did like a fucking like a 30-minute video talking about it, and then I did a 4-hour stream ranking Xenoblade X's music. So that stuff exists on my VOD channel, Gabriel Surge Live Libraries on YouTube. Otherwise, you can go to the main YouTube channel at youtube.com/@gamingoutletvideo, and then you can follow the stream on YouTube if you prefer to watch from there. If you are watching on YouTube, on Twitch, or if you want to see the VODs for previous Pixel Pulse streams. Hiccups are real, they can't hurt me. Hiccups aren't real, they can't hurt me. Hiccups aren't real, they can't hurt me. Hiccups aren't real, they can't hurt me. Sorry. They can't hurt me. By the way, that works 100% of the time. If you ever have hiccups, if you just say it that fast until you run out of breath, hiccups gone. Every time.
I remember saying something like, if you you say I'm not a frog, that cures your hiccups too, or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a frog.
But yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in 2 more weeks with another exciting episode of Pixel Pulse. May or may not include a character by the name of WaterMelvin. We'll see if he's dying. Hopefully not. Last episode he had some other stuff come up that was like more important for him to attend to, but this time he's genuinely sick. So I expect to see him on the next exciting episode of Pixel Pulse.
Yeah, exactly.
But you guys all have a good night. Thank you for joining, and please don't take any bean baths. That's my advice to you all. Please, just
no bean baths.
Don't do it. Okay, bye.
Bye.